CEO, Dr. Sabyasachi Saha. And now, for those who might be wondering what exactly is Techno Exponent, we are a 14-year-old IT firm based in Miami, Florida, and we have been laser focused on bringing real innovation to the sectors that truly matters, such as healthcare, finance, and education. We are not just about building tech and tech we are about creating solutions that solve real problems, improve lives, and drive meaningful change. And that's exactly why we are here today. Revolution in finance services through innovation in sort of AI in fintech. So now we are incredibly fortunate to have truly exceptional panel with us today. Each of these individuals bring wealth of expertise and unique perspective to the table. Let's start with Dr. Sindhu Bhaskar. Hello, Dr. Sindhu. How are you?
All good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Well, Dr. Sindhu is the chairman and founder of EST Group, board member of MSME Business Forum India, and Government Blockchain Association. He is also a member of Forbes Council.
Thank you.
And we also have Miss Rucha. Rucha is the head of GTM and Growth Conversational AI at Versa AI. Hello, Rucha.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hey.
Yes, we also have Mr. Ian. Hello, Mr. Ian. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. And those of I haven't introduced Dr. Sabyasachi yet. Dr. Sabyasachi is the founder of Techno Exponent, and he is a PhD in generative AI, and he's laser focused on working with healthcare sector. We have few other members, Mr. Ben. Hello, Mr. Ben. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
We are doing really great. Thanks. We also have Mr. Said, who is building something and he kept it confidential. Hello, Mr. Said.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for inviting me.
So we can start. So today we will be discussing five major areas such as fraud detection and prevention, credit scoring and risk assessment, chatbots, virtual assistants, algo trading, and personalized finance services. So I would like to start with fraud detection and prevention. Any of the panelists who have really expertise in fraud detection, you can start from your end. Dr. Sindhu, how about you? You can start. I would like to hear your insights on this fraud detection part.
Well, fraud detection. I hope. Yeah. So first, basically, I'm also from Miami. I have my settlement in Miami for the last, I believe, 15 years, and my office in the Information Center. And we have our own neobank and global wallet. So neobank is working in India, and we have a digital lending platform which where we have our Eco Bank in Africa. So now coming to this fraud detection AI system, in our lending application, we have generally incorporated all these things, and the whole focus of our neo banking is basically to develop sort of community banking for more cohesion and more upliftment of the rural areas and underdeveloped areas, which is our target area also. So what we are trying to do on the basis of all the details that we are feeding while account opening, and for that we have created an agent-based system. So agents are there who are sort of identifying the good customer, good borrower, and accordingly we are then incorporating them and opening their account or giving them loan. But of course, the loan is processed on the basis of all the information that we have. And we have tried to do all sorts of check that even those borrowers, when they have taken money from us, of course, the timely repayment is there. Supposing they are like poor farmers or poor people who don't have a very high income, and their monthly repayment is by say $10 bill, 10 rupee bill or 20 rupee currency note, and all of a sudden they start putting in $100. So immediately it gets flagged that how come they are coming up with such big currency notes. So those are the things which we are putting in there, and of course on the basis of their repayment and timely repayment, whether it is slightly off the date, repayment date, or it is there is wide variation in the repayment of their loan installments, then that is also flagged, and all the AI is recording all those nuances, so that when we have to go in for the second installment of loan, and if they apply for it, all those things are taken into consideration. And of course, the we have added two-factor authentication. Now we are, since RBI Reserve Bank of India has allowed for voice-based this KYC. So we are just waiting for it that it becomes very well settled that yes, now you can go ahead, and other big banks are also accepting it and adopting it. Then we'll go in for that. But we have prepared ourselves, and we have also come out with a new type of POS machine, fully backed by AI, in which we are creating all the, not only the database, but also the supply chain management for our say MSME clients or trading community, and it keeps an eye on all their transactions, whether it is invoice based or out of invoice, or so that we can understand and create the nuance whether it is fair transaction or unfair transaction. So these are the ways how we are trying to keep a tab on all these things, say fraud detection. And since blockchain is still not very much adopted in India, so we are ready with that, but we have not utilized it, and we have not added it to our platform.
That's
Okay.
great. Great to hear, Dr. Sindhu. And Mr. Tahi, would you like to add something on this?
I just wanted to ask about the application that she mentioned, that which is the target market of that application and which are the competitors for that product, because you are in Miami and I am also in here in Illinois. So the point is that which are your target markets and the competition about that product, if you can put some light on that.
Yeah. So the bank that we have is branches in India, and our target market is, of course, the tier 3, 4, 5 centers, wherein everyone is now going for numbers. And but it is not that we are not in urban areas, because we have a different options, even though it is a digital application and digital neobank facility, but we have our office. So because I'm of the firm opinion that with digital solutions, you have to have some center wherein people can see you and can have that trust factor and trust level. Otherwise, going talking to chatbots and robo advisors and all that, even I don't get anywhere for my accounts. It becomes very difficult. So, and since we are working with those tier 3, 4, 5 centers, people are not very educated, not articulated about all the new technologies and all. So that is why we have tried to create contact centers so that they can be helped. And that is why all the more emphasis on community-based banking type of setup, so that there is a local agent who can assist them, guide them, and they can move with that. So right now we have about 28,000 agents, and that also gives the employment facility to the educated youth in the rural areas, which is very, very important. Otherwise, we're trying to teach them around. Because just one, two lines more, my EST platform has a fintech, health tech, agri-tech, and ed-tech. So they are in continuum. That I started with fintech because I'm myself a banker. And then I realized that, okay, these areas should be catered to, because banking and finance has not reached those areas. So financial inclusion and all those concepts, those things we are fulfilling. And when I reached those underdeveloped areas, then I thought that, okay, farmers should be assisted and helped. So we moved in a very big manner. From there, I realized that healthy farmers can be better asset. So I created Health Tech product, which is again a patented product. And after that, I then still saw that there is a gap and there is a cultural fear in adoption of new technology. So that fear has to be taken out. So I started the EdTech, and we try to create centers of excellence in different institutions, teach them, give them virtual seminars, webinars, even virtual internship opportunities to students so that they can interact with us and we can help them and make them move. So that's the basis. That's why agent-based system we are used. Thank you.
Really amazing. And whenever it comes to AI, I definitely learn to Mr. Dr. Sabyasachi every time. So, Dr. Sabyasachi, do you have anything to add on this
Yeah,
topic?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Sindhu and other already have explained like system. So I would say like technically the solution of that who are actually making a plan or who are actually working on that. So technical solutions, if I talk about it, all about like if I talk about in fintech deployment in a technical solution. So there are two things mostly come up with: one supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So if I talk about like any bankers or any or any kind of a small investment firm or any other where they want to see like is fraud detection is happening or not. It is not only like a fraud detection in the transaction of a bankers or the or one more people want to join, let me admit it. Yeah, so it's not about like bankers or any small investment firm. It also all about like system can be utilized or built for your cell phone to detect like if you get some messages and whether those messages or whether those actions uh, we should be legitimate or not. Let's imagine every time we or many times we get a lot of messages like lot of messages in the sense of like we get a messages like this is the your Amex card and your point would be if you don't take an action today, so you may lose like a 50 points or you may lose like a few 500 valuable point kind of a thing. So as I am an Amex card user, so I may think about it, okay, this might be a something I have to take care and I have to cash on those 500 points. And this is a real example I am because one of my client has faced that similar kind of issue. So then he clicked on the link and maybe gone in some of the like a fraud, like he may click on the link, give some details, and it may be his maybe he has some sensitive data he lost or something like that. So there are lot of ways we can reject it, like a building application which can read your all the messages securely and give you a suggestion that you are not correct, that you are not doing well. This is a 100% chances are a fraud, so you don't click on that messages but after reading a content. So this is all about like what are the data you are getting it. So in a fraud detection every day new type of message, new type of pattern is come up. So we need a real time data streaming framework. So I always suggest like maybe Apache Kafka or AWS Kinesis can be used for ingestion the data from the transactional data in life. So any of the company like a service, the company who is building the products, they don't need to interact with the live data. We can create like a data streaming process through the framework like AWS Kinesis or Apache Kafka, which actually feed the data and which actually make sure like our model is upgraded and up version. So this is a way we can do. Another fraud detections technique also we can use like we can catch up like a face and other portion of the messages in an emotion and everything, and we can make sure the fraud is not there. So there are a lot of, in my ways, there are a lot of scope and opportunities there in the fintech to implement the fraud detection in different application and scale it up. So many transactional for fraud are happening in every day, and new ways are coming up that can be sorted out. So that my vision, question.
Great insights. Mr. Obrima just joined the call. Mr. Obrima is the Chief Operating Officer of Fintech Association of Nigeria. Hello, Mr. Obrima.
Hello, yeah. Good
It's really good to see you.
good
We
evening.
were, yes, we were discussing on fraud detection and prevention on the fintech. Would you like to add something into it? Then I will come to Mr. Ian and also Mr. Rucha. I would like to hear your insights as well.
Okay, fraud detection, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just make some. I'm a fintech enthusiast. I'm an administrator. I'm not an operator. So I always look at it we always look at it from an advocacy point of view and from the ecosystem perspective. Fraud is a global problem. It's a problem that we all have to live with. They get every day, the guys on the other side are also improving on their skills on how to be able to hack and create more damage. So for operators is how do you ensure that you're also above the game? You must, at times when regulators say some things, we just feel that regulators are a bit too difficult for things like KYC, AML issues, compliance are extremely important outside of the fact that you need to have enough softwares and whatever useful to ensure that you protect your system, you protect your customers, because I mean you're actually holding people's money, and you have responsibility for ensuring that you don't lose those money. So it's really important that it's a major thing that everybody needs to pay attention to and do whatever you need to do to ensure that your systems are well protected.
Thank you so much. Mr. Ian, would you like to add something to it?
Well, just following on from what Mr. Bhavatan said, obviously fraud is a huge problem. I think it's gone a bit too far in terms of the protections that some of the banks are trying to put into place right now. So, you know, they're monitoring your bank accounts. They see you do a transaction that may not be a normal transaction, but it's still a transaction that is done by the client. And they freeze your bank account or they stop the payment going through. They embarrass the customer because he might be at a restaurant paying for a meal or something like that, which has happened to me on a number of occasions. Don't know whether I'm somebody they of interest, but I think it's the systems have got a long way to go because I think it's gone too far. But having said that, the fraud is on a scale that is unbelievable. I mean, I have a friend who lost £100,000 the other day through a company called Revolut. And, the more we are using technology to think we're being smart in protecting ourselves, the smarter the crooks and the criminals who are trying to attempt to get your money, they're finding ways of just unraveling it all. I mean, that's my take on it, but I mean, my angle on what I'm doing is something completely different to fraud. It's more to do with companies misselling and the cost and the price that the whole industry has to pay for that. And in terms of, I don't know if you're familiar with way UK operates, but we have a regulator, we have to adhere to paying a levy fee. We have to have PI insurance to pick up the tab of mis-selling and fraudulent activity, of course. And it's getting more difficult to abide by the rules of having PI insurance because they are disappearing. They're not taking the can anymore for this activity that's going on. So I hope I'm not changing the subject a bit here, but obviously my angle is to look at ways of protecting the industry from the fraud happening or the mis-selling happening in the first place. And the kind of thing I'm talking about there is I wrote a paper on it called Minority Report. That name might sound familiar to you because it's a film that I don't know if you've seen it, Minority Report, where Tom Cruise fights in the future that they can predict behavior before it happens, you know, crime or a particular murder. And it all sounds very science fiction, but it's all run by these three individuals called the precogs, and who could obviously see into the future of what was going on. And it all, as I say, it all sounds a bit fanciful, but actually today those precogs are the technology we call AI, and we can start getting into that kind of technology to help spot behavior and stop it leading to fraud, and stop it because once the fraud is committed, who pays for it? Customer pays, the bank pays, whoever the money companies are, they pay, but the people who are doing good, who are not getting affected, you know, don't mis-sell or don't cause fraudulent activity, they get tarred with the same brush because they end up having to pay the high insurance premiums to cover the costs of all of this. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on a sort of telematics solution. I don't know if you understand what that means, but it's over here, telematics is used by the car insurance industry to monitor drivers' behavior. And if you're prepared to have a piece of technology or a black box in a car, you get cheaper premiums, car insurance premiums. And I'm building something that would be the equivalent of a telematics solution for the banking, credit cards industry, anybody who's in the financial services games selling product, and being able to sign up to that and be able to end up paying lower levy fees and PI insurance cover, and be able to continue to make a profit and exist.
Mr. Tahir have something to say, I guess.
Yeah, actually, my point of view is that we all know the problems in the industry, and there are so many applications for different size of customer, for different from different angles, and for different markets. For example, in India, in US, in UK. So the point is that whenever we develop some product or we try to market that product, we should know that which target market we are focusing, and how we are different from the available applications and the available solutions that we have, so that you can protect it, focus it, and market it properly. Otherwise, we all are from the industry, and fintech is a very broad term. So it's difficult to focus on any specific application, like he tell about that the car insurance they are using. InsurTech, it's using that application for insurance, and that is also one of the application used here in US. So the point is that if you are developing some application to detect fraud or to help customers in avoiding those sort of frauds, you should focus and target according to the application capabilities. And obviously you develop that application, so you know it better, and you can tell people so that people can refer to you when they have some similar sort of criteria for that product. This is my point. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I will move to the different other topic, chatbots and virtual assistants. When it comes to the chatbot and virtual assistants, I believe it's helpful for customer support and all these things. But how it's helping fintech industry? Ms. Rucha, I would like to ask this question to you.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My background is in AI, conversational AI, and generative AI consulting. I worked for firms like Deloitte and PwC doing this at large enterprises. And I think the primary benefit that these solutions can bring to bear are scale and quick time to market in terms of prototyping solutions and testing them for the use cases. We've done a few implementations for the fintech market, such as for banks. And in the bank space, a lot of the use cases are in the customer service and customer experience space. But we've also done not just inbound call handling, but we've also done some work in outbound. And outbound is, for example, a very interesting use case that we built was for a bank to do loan payment recovery for the bank. A lot of times when there are retail auto loans or other kinds of loans taken, that is a substantial impact to the P&L if they are able to recover some of these loan payments on a regular basis. And for that, it's almost like a debt collection call, but with conversational AI implementation, you can make it a little bit more empathetic from the standpoint of, okay, if you aren't able to make a loan payment, what opportunities are available to people who are delinquent in paying loans. It becomes, clearer. Sure, you can use a human to make those phone calls and take users down different payment plans, but that is an expensive endeavor. And so if you want to be able to have a good cost benefit balance, it's very interesting to implement a conversational AI solution that is just as empathetic and can handle at least the top level of users or delinquencies, at scale. So you can imagine this is millions of dollars that are not recovered for the banks with millions of customers, and being able to use an AI solution to do it at scale and not necessarily use thousands of contact center employees to make those outbound calls. That's a massive benefit to enterprises. So those kinds of solutions I've worked on, and the primary benefit that I've seen of AI is not the replacement of humans, but where you cannot scale rapidly with just human employees. You can scale rapidly with AI, leaving the most obscure edge cases to humans who are also in the loop of that AI solution. Does that make sense? Those are the kinds of use cases I've seen. I've also seen other machine learning applications to fraud and AML, anti-money laundering processes. I worked for many moons ago, worked for companies like E-Trade, applying those machine learning algorithms to prevent money laundering, to prevent fraud. Again, what a generative AI does is folks who are in the operations dealing with these tools, working with the AML tools, dealing with the AML cases, fraud prevention cases, they can remain steeped in the language of money laundering and fraud prevention and not have to also be great data analysts and be great data scientists and machine learning engineers. And generative AI tools can do that for them in natural language, be able to assess vast amounts of data pretty quickly to uncover signals. Again, so it's all about scaling. It's all about freeing up human time to do a high touch concierge level work, and automating away the tedious repetitive work in in the banking space. That makes sense.
So much. Dr. Sabyasachi, can you add something to this?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Gulshan. So, thanks, Rucha. Rucha said very prominent thing, like this is a huge thing is been there in the customer support or outbound call and things like that. And one of the similar examples or similar use cases and could be done through this. And I'm sure like a fintech industry would be much more help on that. We'll get help on that. So many time if in a banking site we call and we wait for a long time for a customer support for a simple issues, though right now different customer support has different button to do and things like that. But what suggesting a solutions kind of a thing which is really can be enhanced in most of the bank and financial institutions like or financial management companies, like to train the data or ingest the data of their frequently asked questions in a deeper manner, so it can handle like any I mean at least some level of complicated questions, like and then it can give the answer. Say for example, like if personal finance management, the let's say we are using HSBC or other applications, so those applications can have a authorization system, can have a add-on application and authorization system to so we can ask easily like how much I spent last week, what is my spend in this week, and give me a, chart like which of the where my credit card spend lot in which of the businesses. So this kind of scenarios can be there. Another also, so this is so two portion I have said. One is like a customer support for any credit card companies or any kind of banking companies, and second thing is that like a personalized finance management system. So those of the banking app can add on features on that. So that might be one of the great help for any of the customers. So they can easily understand their expenses and everything. And another portion is that like portfolio management. So also like if there is some suggestion point, like most of the microfinance companies or fintech companies or investment firm, I'm not saying a bigger companies, but at least mid-level companies or small companies, they may have some assistant on that. So at least basic level of question answer, which can be researched through different medias, or data can be ingested to the platform, and then it can give the answers like what would be my investment thing. So I worked with solutions where the company uploaded his all the investment data in last 6 years, and also like have an options to scrape different site and get some suggestion. So initially customer come and get with those suggestion, and they could ask any questions and they get the answers, and once they get the answers they feel happy, like okay, then they can go with the next level of conversation with the financial advisor. So in my point of views, there are lot of things to be done in this the chatbot or support chatbot, personal finance management, asking questions, investment assistant. Those things can be done apart from what Ms. Rucha has said. Apart from that also, there are this point I want to cover actually, Gulshan.
Thank you so much. And now let's move to the different the portion that we were about to discuss. That is personalized finance services. Mr. Ayan, you have a very good background in accelerating startups and all these things. So can you add something to how this personalized finance can help startups or this fintech industry?
Okay, well, yes, I have been involved in a lot of startups. The personal, I always thought, 5 years ago, I always thought personalization was about the human touch, which was about a person being involved in the process, especially when you're talking to somebody who's got, say, £100,000 to invest in, and he's not about to sort of, hand it over to to a company without actually having some engagement or interaction in some way. But there's a lot of DIY platforms that, of course, have sprung up all over the place, and they're not attracting people with 100,000. They're attracting people around about the 25,000 mark. So they are typically falling into the camp of DIY investors. But there are many technology platforms. In fact, we've used quite a few of them, and that apps, for example, that would you talked earlier about chatbots helping you with understanding how much your money might be worth, but we now have platforms that you in the form of a mobile app which you can download, and within 24 hours you can see all your investments in one place, real time valuations, and that's just the start. There's within the applications, they can empower customers to work out where their money's going through open banking and being able to connect to their bank account and see where they could be spending money, a couple of quid on coffee every day, and then you add all that up, and then they sort of empower them to look at where they can start saving money and where they could start using money to obviously put into to boost their savings or pensions in some way. But it's all about empowering the customer to enable to look at their whole financial world and their well-being and work out where the shortfalls are. In this country, the UK, we've got a terrible problem with pensions. It's pretty much a broken system. People are funding at 8% contribution, and they're not really going to get a comfortable retirement. They don't know that yet, but that's what's happening. So to be able to give them tools that can enable to see these problems, to see these shortfalls, typically a financial advisor is the way forward to able to get that personal touch, but it's an expensive way of finding out about your problems. So because obviously the financial advisor charges and fees and whatever, and ongoing fees, and that's not for everybody. So but I think to talk about a little bit more about what was talked about earlier about chatbots and things like that. I didn't believe 5 years ago that you could get financial advice from a remote avatar type robot AI, whatever you want to call it. Because I'm a financial advisor, I'm a qualified financial advisor, so I have insights into this. So, but now what I've seen and what I'm involved with right now, it's not impossible, and in fact, it's going to end up being better than getting access to advice from a human. And of course, because it's driven by technology and AI, this is where the business around fraud protection starts coming into play, which was our original discussion, because obviously the biggest problem with financial advice or getting personalization on people's money is mis-selling, not aligning the client's goals and risk appetite to what he really understands, what kind of risk he's taking. So the industry are constantly trying to find ways for you to take risk, because if you don't take risk, they can't sell you anything. You might as well just keep your money in a bank account somewhere or under the mattress. But so they're constantly coming up with cunning new ways of putting tools in front of you to psychometric test you on what risk might mean to you. And obviously, this is where the problems begin. But anyway, I probably went on for a bit of a tangent there. But right now there are interesting times ahead. It's incredible how things have leaped forward in the last few years, mainly through the language models that are now available that you can now program to tap into all of this, and the avatar technology is just getting better and better and better. It won't be long before I won't be here talking to you because obviously that's how good the technology will be. So but that's my take on it anyway.
Great to hear that. And Mr. Ubrima, would you like to add something to this? Uh, Hello, Dr. Obrima, are you there? Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Can I have the question again?
Well, the question is personalized finance services.
Well, so I mean, financial services are getting improved. People want better services. I mean, in Nigeria, some 20, 25 years ago, if you wanted to cash money, you had to go to the bank and then you get a tag. And then if you know what number is on your tag, you can actually go back to work and plan to come back at a certain time when you know it will get to your turn. But today you can sit in your room and do all your financial transactions. So, I mean, either you're a bank or a fintech, everybody offers the same services or the same products, but the difference is just the service, that personal service that you offer. So, in Nigeria today, for example, there are some fintechs. There's OPay, there is PAMPay, and there's Money Point. And what we discovered that a lot of people use these three fintechs for transactions. Why? They are fast. And for an OPay, if your transaction is declined, you actually get a notification that there's some decline either from the beneficiary fintech or bank or from their own end, which is a good service. So, but at the same time, you discover that majority of the people have 80% of their funds in legacy banks, only 20% with fintechs. So there's still that timidity of trust with fintechs that let me just keep whatever I can afford to lose just in case anything goes wrong, but I'm more comfortable or safer with the legacy banks. But what is there is that fintechs are offering better services than the legacy banks. The legacy banks are also trying to catch up, but because of their investments in already existing infrastructure, it's difficult for them to make that leap. In Nigeria, where you're beginning to see that banks are now having subsidiaries, fintech subsidiaries, so that they can compete at that stage with other fintechs and moving their customers into their fintech subsidiaries. So personal financial services are extremely important. Everybody needs to keep improving on how you improve on your services because we're all offering technically the same products.
Great. Mr. Tahir, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask one thing from him that in Nigeria, do they have different banks? Legacy banks are different and fintech banks are different? Because normally here, and I saw that the same banks are offering financial technology, the same applications, they are not different. So this is my concern. Can you please tell me?
Okay, so when I say legacy banks, you have banks who've been they're commercial banks licensed as banks. You have those who are licensed uh, as neobanks or challenger banks, which do not have infrastructures like the commercial banks do have. And then you have the payment fintechs or the lending fintechs who just specialize in just payments or lending. I mean, things like mobile money and wallet and use of wallets. So that's where the difference comes in. So the banks can do wallets. They're more, the KYC for them is much more, the expectation from the
Okay.
regulator is higher than what you have from the fintech. So that's where you have some of those differences. But recently the regulator is really clamping down on fintechs. I actually
Correct me if I'm
from doing
correct. Sorry to interrupt you. Correct me if I'm wrong. You mean that there are different applications that you can utilize, mobile application and other applications that you can utilize as wallets and these for fintech. But the regular banks have all those things. But obviously, since the regulations are different, and for commercial banks, so the applications are not that you say that uh, fintech oriented or that advanced. Is that what you mean?
yes, yes, fintech oriented companies have more advanced, more nimble and faster systems than than the legacy banks do have.
I can understand. Thanks for the clarification.
Okay.
Dr. Saha, would you like to add something?
Yes, so I was just be sure like team already added the points, the personalized banking in my last thing also I have been explain about it. So basically this is one of the important point which we are discussing right now in personalized finance services. So uh, in that case, I only one thing like to add on that this is also like most of the users whilst providing solutions, I'm checking it, most of the users are looking this kind of a thing, but some reasons I mean most of the fintech companies are not focusing that way. So is again like an important point, like fintech companies are looking after that, and then they can have a proper solutions for that. So whatever my fintech client, I always say like this is an important point, and we should keep it in mind, like we should give a personalized fintech services add-ons to our customers.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saha, for adding. And now we will move to our last topic, that is algo trading. And Dr. Saha, I would like to
Okay.
start from you.
Okay, so yeah, so this is a nice topic, Gulshan. Thanks for putting it out, because algo trading, this is a, in not only in India, in most of the places, the trading in one of the important point. Like many time, many solutions, and people come to me to talk about like a trading. So what I think about the algo trading part, like this is a lot to work for especially the entrepreneur and investors to work on the algo trading, because there are in India, as per India, like a 15% of people are I mean on trading, and the percentage is increasing more and more, and similar in other places are as well, like all countries are trading is increasing more and more. So what I'm thinking, like algorithmic trading or algo trading is something where fintech can explore a lot. Why I'm telling it? Because recently one project what I have done there, like our customer has given us like 5 to 10 years, 5 years of data of where he got the pick in trading, and where he got the less in the trading. So there are 2 point of data he shared with us. Now we created a machine learning model. That particular model can understand his pattern throughout his 5 years, and then we created a model which helping his own customers to choose the trade. Actually he built it not for a direct customer, but he built the customer who actually help their customers to the trading and purchasing and selling the different kind of stocks. So this is one of the important point actually for algo trading, because most of the cases lot of market risk available, people are not sure that whether when to trade, when to stop loss, when we can do the portfolios to be proper balancing. There are a lot of things over there. It's not only the fiat currency, also the cryptos as well. So I think there are a lot to work on that particular trading portions, and like we normally use some rule like RSI below 30 then buy, things like that. But it not only that, we can use the algorithm, and we can use like training, and then we can create a good thing. And I seen like a paper also been publishing on that particular algo trading, and a lot of business persons are also coming into the market and starting the algo trading or algo bot to be built up and a lot of big names also has been joined to know the historical data and make the trading, and even in a millisecond they are deciding like profit and loss. So so very small things they are covering up. So I feel like this is a lot in this particular portion, lot to work on, and different segments are there. That's my views on algo trading, Gulshan.
So is it going to help people like me who have zero knowledge in trading?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good question. Like it's absolutely because of this algo trading can give you a proper explanations like why you should trade on this particular portions and give everything, and then you can decide it even in a long term and short term and mid term, all the terms this thing. And this is most of the business owner are even in a fintech companies or small microfinance companies or companies like who is helping other user in a trade. They are also utilizing this algo trading, and then giving a decision trees or and also like a training data sets to help user, and selling the model in a subscription base. So that is one of the solutions, and also like this algo trading has a backtesting model included as well, so you can have your backtesting model to be ready as well. So like any algorithm you want to deploy by yourself, just logic, so backtesting will show you like you are doing right or wrong, and where you are doing wrong, and what kind of improvement you can do even on your model, so you can do experiment as well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saab, for clearing this. And Mr. Tahir, would you like to add something?
My concern is that you are right, absolutely, that this can help. Algo trading can help people and making money, even for those who doesn't know much about that. But again, for the people to select the right tool, because there are many tools available,
Yeah.
there should be someone who can guide them, because if you know about that, then you can use it with your knowledge and with that tool. But if you don't know anything about that, obviously you will have to depend on that tool. So the tool should be very robust and very dependable. Otherwise, you will lose your money on that
True.
a lot.
Agree on your
So
point.
how to select the right tool? Do you have any application like that in AI so that you can uh, help customers in selecting the right tool based on their industry, based on their geography, based on their preferences? Because that is again a big concern over there, because lots of people are making applications without realizing that it is confusing for the customer to select the right tool. There are a lot of personal finance application. There are a lot of application in every area of fintech, insurtech, and every application. But once, as you say, that one application is not for everyone, so it might be good for you, but not be good for me or
Yeah.
someone else. So there should be someone, and I hope that companies are working on this tool also, that they are helping people in selecting the right tool, right application for them to select. And that is again an AI application, because if you have the data, you have the demographics, you have the that database with you, you can say the AI can select the right tool for you to use that.
Yeah, that is
So
the reason I just wanted to add here, like a backtest model is one of the important factor here. Tahir, like if we if those companies who are using algo trading kind of a algorithm or algo trading kind of a thing, so they should have a backtest, so you can test any of the data sets. So it's very transparent, like any of the company you can choose, and you can put that backtest model to the model the company is giving you, and you can put any stock data, and you can see whether it is giving proper decision or not. So by default you can choose it, but most of the companies are not giving that backtesting model, or even they are giving, they are telling okay, you build your own model and deploy it and then test it. What I'm suggesting, like instead of that, the company can give them a few models, let's say 5 6 or 7 models, also have an options to create their own model, but 5 6 predefined model where at least they can see through back testing that if I do trading for a 6 months, so at least I'm getting this much of profit with any data sets, or at least the bare minimum should be there. I'm not saying a bigger margin, but bare minimum profit.
But do you have the application for global markets or for a specific industry or
Yeah, so
India
I have
or
built
wherever?
I have built one for one of my client that is only for the US market, but it's not directly on the normal company share trading. It's mostly like you can say like they trade you on the like a forex capital, like dollar, like a euros, those kind of a trading. It's not like this. So that was like coming from like a lot of gap in this particular areas. I mean, a lot of companies doing it, but of course it's not that suitable way. So that I was bringing the point in this
Bec-
panel.
Because the investors are nowadays investing in those companies who can provide them global access,
True.
not specific to any specific area, but wherever the opportunity is, they should be able to utilize that application and invest in that area.
Mm,
So the application or the product should be like that can help them in taking this global decisions, not
mm.
only for any specific area or specific market.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Absolutely.
big
No, I
big
agree on
big
your
gap, I think.
point. Yeah,
Big
exactly.
gap in the market.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Obrima, would you like to add something? I believe Nigeria people are most into trading. So, do you think this algo trading modules can help them?
Definitely. As a matter of fact, this sits with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Last year, or about a year and a half ago, they actually came up with the regulations for, it's called a robo advisory, for people who want to trade and using algorithms for trading. So it's something that is well encouraged. However, I'm not sure it's something that has really taken much root. In Nigeria, what you find is people trading in cryptocurrencies, but not that has nothing to do with algo trading now. But there's a regulation for it, and it's something that the Securities and Exchange Commission encourages traders to get in. So what's really happening, what you find is that traders themselves, stockbroking firms and investment firms are using it for their own trading, but not individuals trying to get into that space.
It's great to hear that. And Mr. Brewer, would you like to add something?
Well, it's only just adding really what Syed said. It's about picking the right company or the right trading platform. I mean, I personally would have concerns about newbies going into this and thinking they're going to make a fortune, and it all doesn't go the way they thought it was. I mean, it's interesting. My brother does a lot of this in America, and we mentioned, I was over there recently. He mentioned this guy who is exclusive. So you have to pay him $20,000 to basically get into his inner circle, and he's using his own platform which he's built and designed, and he is making people quite wealthy by the sounds of things, but including my brother. But I think when you see all these adverts on Facebook about it and stuff like that, I think one should tread carefully. And also that I would imagine that, well, our regulator over here is obviously scrutinizing things like this right now. So I guess if somebody goes in, in the traditional investing world, if somebody invests some money in something and you haven't got their attitude to investment risk right, then you're going to get a mis-selling complaint, and you're going to get, you probably get the ombudsman going against you. I'm not sure if the regulations in other parts of the world are there for to protect the consumer in that way, diving into these things. But it's an interesting area, isn't it? So my caveat though would be if it's too good to be true, it normally is. And there's only a certain amount of people making the money at the top. But anyway, yeah, that's all I'd like to add, I suppose.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brewer. And this was our last topic that we were just discussing. And it was great to have you all in the panel, and it was a really insightful discussion. And we were looking forward to connecting with you further. And we'll definitely discuss more on the fintechs and other departments. Thank you. Thank you so much for your
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for
Yes.
inviting
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
you.
Nice to meet
Bye-bye.
you all.
Same to you.